Persian Wars, fought between the Greek city-states and the Persian Empire in the early 5th century BCE, were pivotal in shaping ancient Greek history and influencing the broader course of Western civilization. These wars, spanning roughly half a century, encompassed several key battles and events, as well as a profound clash between vastly different cultures, the democratic and independent Greek city-states, particularly Athens and Sparta, and the vast autocratic Persian Empire.
Causes of the Persian Wars. The wars began in response to the Ionian Revolt, 499 to 493 BCE. Greek-speaking cities in Ionia, located on the western coast of Anatolia, modern Turkey, were part of the Persian Empire, but resented Persian control. The revolt was led by the Ionian Greeks, who, in their bid for independence, sought help from mainland Greece. Athens and Eretria, in particular, provided military assistance. Though the rebellion was ultimately crushed by the Persian king Darius I, the Athenian support enraged the Persian ruler, leading him to seek retribution. This set the stage for the broader conflict between Persia and the Greek city-states.
The First Persian Invasion, 492 to 490 BCE. After the Ionian Revolt, Darius I launched the First Persian Invasion of Greece to punish Athens and Eretria for their interference. His forces initially moved through Thrace and Macedonia, subduing them. However, in 490 BCE, the Persian army and fleet, led by Darius's general Datis, attacked Eretria, sacked the city, and turned their attention toward Athens. The Persians landed at Marathon, a plain near Athens, where they were met by a smaller Athenian army. In the Battle of Marathon, the Greeks, led by the general Miltiades, achieved a stunning victory despite being heavily outnumbered. The Athenians employed a strategic phalanx formation and used the terrain to their advantage, encircling the Persian forces and forcing them into retreat. The victory at Marathon was a defining moment for Athens, boosting its prestige and showing that the Persian Empire was not invincible. It was also during this time that the legendary run of Phidippides from Marathon to Athens is said to have occurred, inspiring the modern marathon race.
The Second Persian Invasion, 480 to 479 BCE. After the defeat at Marathon, Darius I began preparations for another invasion, but he died before it could be launched. His son, Xerxes I, ascended the throne and vowed to succeed where his father had failed. Xerxes spent years amassing a massive army and navy, gathering forces from across his empire. In 480 BCE, he launched the Second Persian Invasion of Greece. This invasion was far larger and more organized than the first, with Xerxes reputedly bringing over 100,000 soldiers and a substantial fleet. The Greeks, recognizing the scale of the threat, formed an alliance of city-states, including Athens, Sparta, and others. One of the most famous episodes of the war occurred at the Battle of Thermopylae. A small force of about 7,000 Greeks, led by the Spartan king Leonidas I, held off Xerxes' vast army for several days in the narrow pass of Thermopylae. Though the Greeks were eventually betrayed and overwhelmed, the stand of the 300 Spartans and their allies became legendary, symbolizing courage and sacrifice in the face of overwhelming odds. Simultaneously, the Persian navy moved towards the Greek fleet, which was positioned at Artemisium. After suffering heavy losses in both manpower and ships, the Greek navy withdrew to regroup near Salamis. It was here that the next critical battle took place. At the Battle of Salamis, 480 BCE, the Greek commander Themistocles devised a clever plan to lure the larger Persian fleet into the narrow straits of Salamis. Unable to maneuver their ships effectively in the confined space, the Persians were soundly defeated by the smaller but more agile Greek navy. This naval victory was a turning point, as it crippled the Persian fleet and forced Xerxes to retreat most of his forces back to Asia, though he left a sizable army behind.
The final battles and Greek victory. The following year, in 479 BCE, the Greeks faced the remaining Persian forces at the Battle of Plataea. Led by Pausanias, a Spartan commander, the Greek forces decisively defeated the Persians, effectively ending the Persian threat to mainland Greece. Around the same time, the Greek navy, now free to operate, won another significant battle at Mycale on the Anatolian coast, further weakening Persian naval power and influence in the Aegean. These twin victories, Plataea and Mycale, ended the Persian invasions of Greece. Although the Persian Empire remained a formidable power, it no longer posed an immediate threat to the Greek mainland. Aftermath and long-term consequences. The Persian Wars had profound and far-reaching consequences for both Greece and Persia. For the Greeks, particularly the Athenians, the victories were seen as a triumph of their way of life, where freedom and autonomy triumphed over Persian autocracy. Athens, in particular, emerged as the dominant naval power in the Aegean and took the leadership role in forming the Delian League, an alliance of city-states originally designed to defend against future Persian aggression. Over time, however, this league morphed into the Athenian Empire, leading to tensions with Sparta and eventually the Peloponnesian War. The wars also strengthened Greek unity, at least temporarily, as the Greek city-states had set aside their rivalry to defeat a common foe. This sense of unity was crucial in the short term, though internal conflicts later resumed. Athens experienced the golden age of culture, philosophy, and democracy in the aftermath of the wars, with figures like Pericles rising to prominence. For Persia, the defeat marked the limit of its expansion into Europe. Although the empire remained a major power in the Near East for centuries, the wars were a blow to its prestige and military reputation.
Significance in Western history. The Persian Wars are often seen as a defining moment in Western history. The preservation of Greek culture, philosophy, and political systems, especially Athenian democracy, laid the foundation for much of Western intellectual and political thought. The idea of defending freedom against tyranny became a central narrative in the telling of the wars. The bravery of the Greeks, particularly in battles like Thermopylae and Salamis, has been celebrated in art, literature, and film for centuries. The wars also set the stage for the eventual rise of Alexander the Great, who would later conquer the Persian Empire itself in the 4th century BCE, marking a dramatic reversal of the Greek-Persian conflict and spreading Greek culture throughout the known world. Thus, the Persian Wars not only determined the fate of Greece, but also left a lasting legacy on world history, influencing future generations' views on freedom, democracy, and empire. Thank you for watching the video, The Persian Wars, provided by History and Current Events. This is Sarah, Lily, Gina, Brian, and Tony have contributed so far as narrators. Thank you.